Good morning. Today I am going to teach you a new poem on killing a tree, and the poet is Given Patel. Now here tree represent nature. We cannot destroy nature. Natures are not easily destroyed, and we human beings are cutting our own throat by destroying nature. So first I will be telling you about the poet, and then I will be refreshing you about the main ideas of the poem, and of course the explanation and poetic devices and rhyming scheme of the poem will be discussed. So let's begin.
So let me tell you about the poet first. So here Given Patel, okay, he is an Indian poet, and he writes about nature, and in this poem, the poet in his poem on killing a tree is explaining very vividly the process of destruction of nature. Here tree represent nature, as I told you. He is telling that we human being, we are following the process of destruction of nature. He is emphasizing the predicament we will eventually face if we continue in this manner. We will have a bad result. Like you can see, I think you all know that Uttarakhand tragedy took place because we were destroying nature. So the idea presented is therefore deforestation leading to disaster. Definitely we need tree. We do deforestation, but at the same time, children, I think we should grow more trees so that a balance should be there. So but here the deforestation is there but not growing more tree, hence leading to disaster, and the need for afforestation is implied. The poem highlights a lot of morals. Firstly, it displays the destructive nature of humans. So children, we human beings are of destructive nature. Instead of growing trees, we are cutting more and more trees for our benefit. We are not thinking of our future generation also. We are not thinking about pollution. We are so mean that we are only destroying nature for our own benefit. So here poet displays the destructive nature of human. Now secondly, it shows that mother nature is inevitable and cannot be easily destroyed. Now children, just simply killing the tree, it's very difficult to kill a tree. Simply jabbing or stabbing is not there. We have to pull hard. That tree should be dried completely. It should be there in the sun, then only it would be withered, and then we will know that the tree is dead. So children, it is not easy, that mother nature is inevitable and cannot be easily destroyed. Now thirdly, the tree is a symbol of mankind. It says that human life is not so easy to end. If we cut the fingers on the skin, then we do not die. It is a heart that should be cut. So children, if we zap with a knife or if we stab with a knife, the tree simply will not die. We have to pull it out. So this is the main theme of the poem. The poem is very short, but it slashes out a scar in our mind. And children, the main thing is that the author, the poet, has taken the poetic devices irony, because the poet begins ironically describing the crime committed by the tree. For years it has consumed the earth crust, and it has absorbed sunlight, air and water, and has grown up like a giant. So the tree must be killed according to the human being, but it is not an easy task. A simple jab of the knife will not do it. Jab means to poke roughly or quickly with a sharp instrument. From close to the ground, it will rise up again and grows it to its former size. That means even if you will cut the trees, its branches, again it will grow to its former size. It will again become a threat to man. Now children, it will again become a threat to man. So the tree should be tied and hardened and twisted and withered, and it is done. The poem gives a realistic picture of man's attitude towards tree. The tree is his greatest friend, but man is so foolish that he doesn't realize the fact that he is cutting his own throat when he cuts a tree. Now, the poet depicts violence literally and non-violence ironically. The root of the tree is like the love that is essential for human being to survive. This love is given to us by our parents, who may take years to nurture us into strong individual. In this love, if this love is chopped off, that gives that the parent wither, decay, and go into oblivion. So children, basically what is there in the poem, that we are destroying trees, we are destroying nature. Nature is inevitable, it cannot be destroyed easily. Nature symbols mankind, they have a very friendly relation with us. In fact, nature nurture us. So it says that human life is not easy to end, but and similarly nature, you cannot destroy nature easily. So I have discussed the main points of the poem with you, and now I will be reading the poem and then I will be explaining the poem. So, on killing a tree. Now let's see what is written in the appetizer. You must have observed people cutting down trees, but can they kill a tree? It is easy to do so. Let's read the poem and find out what the poet says on killing a tree. Now children, I will be reading the poem. It takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous height, sprouting leaves. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. No, the root is to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be robbed tight and pulled out, snapped out, or pulled out entirely, out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth, then the matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So children, you can see the name of the writer also given, Patel is there. And now children, I've read the poem, and stanza by stanza I will be explaining you. So now with the first stanza, it takes much time to kill a tree. Not a simple jab of the knife will do it. It has grown slowly, consuming the earth, rising out of it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hiding sprouting leaves. So first I will be telling you the meaning of the new words. So our first word is jab. Here, jab is a new word here. Jab means poke roughly or quickly with a sharp instrument. It means to poke roughly or quickly with a sharp instrument. And then consuming. Consuming means absorbing. Then the third word in the first stanza is crust. That means thin shell on the outside of the earth. Thin shell on the outside of the earth. Now the other word is leprous. Leprous means relating to or resemble leprosy. Leprosy, I think you know, it's a disease of the skin. I think you all know, children, that it is a disease of the skin. White patches are there on the skin, and then wound is there on those patches. So that is known as leprosy. So leprous is relating to or resembling leprosy. Hide is skin or coat. And then sprouting leaves. Sprouting means, what is the meaning of sprouting? Spring up, to grow. So these are new words, and of course I will be doing the paraphrasing for you and doing the explanation for you. The poet is telling man that it is not very easy to kill a tree. A simple jab of the knife will not be adequate to destroy a full grown tree that has absorbed nutrition from the earth slowly. So the tree are very strong, and it is not very easy to kill them simply with the help of knife. They are not going to be killed. So here the poet is telling that a simple jab of knife will not kill a tree, and the tree has grown on the earth's surface, and it has taken nutritious food from earth also. So they are so strong that it is not easy to kill them. Now children, the tree needed to grow sunlight, air, water, and the earth crust. So everything they are getting it in a proper manner. And that bark of a tree look the leprous hide. So the bark of the tree rises of the earth. Now children, here this line, rising out to it, feeding upon its crust, absorbing years of sunlight, air, water, and out of its leprous hide, sprouting leaf. That means the tree rises out of the earth and feed upon its crust. The tree is rising from the earth, out of the earth, and it feeds upon its crust. As it grows through the year, it absorbs sunlight, air, and water. The poet is personifying the bark of the tree by calling it a leprous hide. Leprous hide, not leprous, sorry, leprous hide. The leaves are seen to be growing on its branches that have several layers of tough and protective shield, also called the bark of the tree. So children, you can see that the people want to cut the tree, okay, and the bark of the tree is has a leprous hide. And the tree is growing. The leaves are seen to be growing on its branches that have several layers of tough and protective shield, which is also known as the bark of the tree, and it has a leprous hide. And the tree is very strong. Yet it is very strong, okay. With the years of absorbing nutritious food, it has grown very strong. So it is not easy to cut a tree. Now the second stanza. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. The bleeding bark will heal, and from close to the ground will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs, which if unchecked will expand again to former size. Well, here I will be going to tell you. So hack and chop, but this alone won't do it. Not so much pain will do it. That means the poet says that such backing and chopping of or putting it through a lot of pain is not adequate to kill the tree. Now I will also tell you the meaning of the new words also. So here, heck. Heck means here. Hack means to cut with rough heavy blows, and chop means cut into pieces with repeated sharp blows. That means you have to cut with repeated means many times you have to blow sharp, you have to blow hard, and then the trees will be cut into pieces. It is not very easy to cut the piece, the tree. It is not very easy to cut the tree. It will take a lot of time. They are very strong. Then this word, bleeding bark, the blood that generally oozes out of a wound. Here it is personification. Okay, the figure of speech here is the poetic devices. Here is personification. The blood that generally oozes out of a wound. And heal is to cure. Okay, to cure or to remove pain and anguish. Now curl green twigs. Curl green twigs are fresh sprouts like a human fetus. Mature means very tiny. Bow is offshoot branches. Offshoot or branches. Twigs, and the twigs here. Twigs means a small thin branch. Okay, so these are the new word which I have explained, and now I will be telling you about the paraphrasing. So let's start doing the paraphrasing of the poem. Now the poet says that just hacking and chopping or putting it through a lot of pain is not an adequate way to kill the tree. After the chopping in a very cruel manner, the bleeding bark will eventually heal. The poet says that therefore from the chop remain that is close to the earth, small curled new shoots will begin to appear again. He warns man that if this is not checked, it will grow into a big tree back to its former size once again. So this is the paraphrasing. That means the bleeding bark will heal, and from the close ground, that means the bleeding bark, the bark which we have chopped with a knife, okay, that will heal. That will be good. Healing means to become good from the wound, and from the close to the ground. And the poet says that thereafter from the chopped remains that is close to the earth will rise curled green twigs. Now will rise curled green twigs, miniature boughs. Now if we will uncheck it will expand matlab if it will grow again into a big tree back to its former size once again. So children, I have done the paraphrasing of the second stanza also. Okay, and now we will move to the third stanza. No, the root is not to be pulled out of the anchoring earth. It is to be roped, tied and pulled out, snapped out or pulled out entirely. Out from the earth cave, and the strength of the tree exposed, the source white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the tree. This is the most, very emotional part of the poem. In this, the poet is telling how we human beings kills a tree. In a very sad manner we are killing. It is not simply that we have to jab the knife and that some twigs would be pulled out from the trees, but it is very difficult that To kill a tree is very difficult a thing. Now he is here in this stanza discussing that how a tree must die completely. So let's start doing the paraphrasing. Now first I will be explaining you the meaning of the new words, and then the paraphrasing part will be there. Anchoring. Anchoring means securing the tree firmly in the earth. Securing the tree firmly in the earth. Okay. Snapped. Snapped. Snapped means taken apart briskly or quickly. Snapped. Taken upon briskly or quickly. Or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave. Or pulled out entirely out from the earth cave. And the strength of the tree exposed the sources white and wet, the most sensitive hidden for years inside the earth. So snap cave, I think hollow in the earth. Cave is the hollow. Cave is not that stone cave. It is the hollow part of the earth here in the poem. And source. So I've told you about earth cave and then source. The source. Source means the origin. And then white and wet. White and wet is moist and fair. Moist and fair, not tanned as it is under the ground. And then of course I think this meaning everybody know. Sensitive. Sensitive means delicate. Okay. So these are the meaning of the new words. And now I will be doing the paraphrasing. The poet says that just hacking and chopping or putting it through a lot of pain is not adequate to kill the tree. Okay. So the poet is describing about he is telling about the killing of the tree. Now the poet says, no, do not let it grow it. Now the poet says the people have decided, the people of the earth has decided to kill the tree. We should not let it grow. We should not let it live. It has to be uprooted from the earth that is holding it together. And how it has to be killed? It has to be uprooted. That means pulled in such a way that the root should also come out from the ground. He suggests the technique and say, tie up the root with a rope and pull it out of the hollow of the earth fully and completely. Now children, let me tell you, it is not easy. It is not easy to kill a tree. It takes a lot of time. So he has given the technique also, that first we have to tie up the root. Okay. Uprooted from that. First the tree should be uprooted from the earth. And how it should be uprooted, he is suggesting the technique also. He says that the tie up the root with a rope and pull it out of the hollow of the earth fully and completely. So, and when the root is pulled out of the earth, we are introduced to the strongest part of the tree. It is from here that the tree originates. It is moist and white because it is protected by Mother Earth, who has taken care of it, knowing that this is the most sensitive part of the tree. Perhaps that is why it is kept out of the sight of the wicked human being. So this part is very touching. In this part, the technique has been suggested that how a tree should be killed. how the nature should be destroyed. We are not thinking that nature are friendly, nature nurture us. Instead, we are thinking to kill the tree just for our own sake. So, in paragraph stanza third, it has described that how the tree is being killed. So, what shall one have to do to kill the tree? That one have to pull out. One should uproot the tree from the. It shall be pulled out. Okay, or snap out the tree from the root. Now, children, it is Mother Nature. It is Mother Earth that it gives full protection to the tree. It anchors the tree and keep it firmly standing. And it is like a cave that preserves the tree. Now, children, when the tree is pulled out, it is very difficult to pull out a tree. Okay, it has to be tied with a rope and pulled by many people. So the strength of the tree is seen here. And how does the source of the tree look? It looks white and wet. Why? Because till now this is the most delicate part which the Mother Earth was protecting it. That's why it was kept hidden in a cave so that nobody would see this part. And now she know if this part will pull or cut, the tree will lose its life. So source of the tree is white and wet, and this source has laid inside the earth. Okay, so with this I have completed the second part of the lesson also. Now the third part. Now the last part. Then the matter of scorching and choking is in sun and air, browning, hardening, twisting, withering, and then it is done. So children, these are the way that a tree should be killed. Okay, so some of the new word you have to write it, and then I will be doing the explanation. Scorching means getting scorched in the sunshine. Scorching means very hot, blazing, burning. And choking is suffocating. Browning. Browning means make something change its color, especially by heating or cooking it. That means the green color of the tree turns brown because due to scorching heat. Withering. Withering means fall into decay, dry. Fall into decay or dry. And then it is done. That means the killing part is over. That means the tree is finally killed. And one word is here, and it is done. That means the tree is finally killed here. And one word is here which I forgot to explain you. It is twisting. Twisting here means curling. And hardening. Hardening means getting hard. Okay. And scorching and choking, of course, the drying up of the tree after being uprooted. Scorching and choking means drying up the tree when it is uprooted. So now I will be doing the paraphrasing of the poem. That is, when the root is pulled out of the earth, we are introduced to the strongest part of the earth. It is from here that the tree originates. It is moist and white because it is protected by Mother Earth, who has taken care of it, knowing that this is the most sensitive part of the tree. Perhaps that is why it is kept out of sight of the wicked human beings. Then this matter of scorching and choking in sun and air, browning, hardening, okay, twisting, withering, and then it is done. After the tree is uprooted, he says the next matter to be considered is how to burn it, dry it up in the sun and air. It then goes through the stages of losing its luster and becoming brown and lifeless. Its softness and tenderness is replaced by hardness. The unfortunate thing then crumbles and withers away to nothingness. The destruction is complete. Now, children, what happens to the tree when it is pulled out? When it is pulled out, it is scorched and chalked, and the color which it acquire after chalking and pulling it out, it turns into brown color. It looks hardened, and children, finally the tree is then killed. Finally, after scorching and choking in sun and air, then it gets brown color, it hardens, then twist and withering is done, and then finally it is dead. Finally we kill the tree. So children, with this I end my poem here. And children, the message is that we should not cut the trees, we should not destroy the trees, as nature nurture us, and we should take care of nature. If we have to cut the tree for some reason, instead we should grow some plants which becomes a tree afterwards. So we have to see all this thing, because nature is our friend. It is not good to destroy nature. So with this I end my video here. Thank you and have a nice day ahead.